Afternoon, everybody. The other day I went over Justin Trudeau's spending in 2016 and we looked at how it just ballooned massively from zero. We had an actual surplus of $1 billion thanks to Stephen Harper and sound fiscal policies, as well as having pipelines built and getting our pipelines and product to market. And then Justin Trudeau took that and spent it all, and then spent it again and again and again. And if you want to look at 2016, go have a look at my other video. But this one looks at 2017 and some of the rabbit holes I went down in that video. And first, to prime this, this isn't my website. This is Stand Together for Canada. The link will be in the description. And this is a description. It says monies given to UN and foreign countries to date, as reported in Canadian media. So we have, as I said, Justin Trudeau spent and spent and spent. And I said, what did we get for it? And I'll show you what we got. This is what we got in 2017. And there's a little bit of a discrepancy. Well, I want to show you what Max Bernier thinks of this as well. Maxime Bernier is tweeting, and this is Thursday, November 8th, last year, 2018. He says, quote, "No amount of foreign aid will make a difference. It's always wasted. The only way a country can develop is by adopting free market policies, rule of law, etc. Let's abolish foreign aid programs and spend that money on Canadians' needs instead." Okay, well, I emphatically agree with him because I'm a Bernier supporter, but you don't have to, and that's just fine. Thanks for watching anyway. All right, so we're scrolling down to 2017. Now, I want to point out a discrepancy in this list. At the end of the 2016 list, we have a grand total of $12 billion, $291,348,551. But that takes into account $2.65 billion for the climate change agreement. And that's $2.65 billion over 5 years. So I backed the $2.65 billion out and I added the first 2 years, and that's $1.33 billion. Okay, so I added half back, basically. So the first, 1.5 years, I suppose, or 2.5 years, half back. Okay, so that's where we're at. We're at half of the climate change because that comes in over 5 years. We're almost done spending that money, but we're not done paying for it, but we're done spending it almost, right? We're done handing it out. But I just wanted to get the count right, and I'll email the site owner as well and let him know my note here. So starting with that number, we'll find out how much the Liberals spent in 2017. Maybe we might not come back to it, but that's the starting number. And I think it's about 5 or 6 billion in 2017, but some weird ones. So we're going to get to that right now. So in March 2017, Justin Trudeau marked International Women's Day with over $500 million, $650 million, for reproductive health and rights around the world. And here's the link to the CBC reporting. We're not going to go through each article. Link will be in the description if you want to read it, and you can have a look at this whole list as well. In April, Justin Trudeau says Canada to give Syria $840 million, almost $1 billion, following deadly attack. Here you go, Syria. Here's $840 million. You're welcome. And further down, when my software catches, diplomats fret over Canadian funding for Ghana outdoor defecation campaign. $850,000. $850,000. Here it is. National Post reporting. Further down, Ottawa in July 2017, Ottawa to finance Iran's bombardier order. $100 million. So we're paying for Iran and their new jet airline, Fly Keshem, I think, $100 million that covers 80% of it. And I guess the idea is to keep like high-paying jobs at Bombardier paying well, right? So if Trudeau covers this, it just seemed to be a strange choice for 2017 with the political climate we were negotiating, or we knew of negotiations for NAFTA, new NAFTA. All of this stuff was kind of happening at that point in time, and it was heating up. So loosening the rules to compete with Bombardier to compete with other jet makers to then just infuse $100 million into the company, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. And I'm probably not saying Bombardier right. So sorry about that. In September, Canada contributes $33 million to help build a rehab center for Afghan vets. And I thought, well, that's not that's not bad. And I thought, oh wait, it's probably going to be in Afghanistan. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's Canada contributes $33 million to help build rehab center for Afghan vets in Kabul. Yeah. So it says Canada has quietly contributed $33 million to help establish a new center in Kabul to treat Afghan vets wounded in that nation's many years of conflict, the Star has learned. When built, the rehabilitation center will be the largest and most modern facility of its kind in an impoverished country where injured vets have faced an uphill battle for treatment. Oh, do you see the slant? It's a little hard to miss, really. It's a little hard to miss. Yeah, Toronto Star. On October 29th, in Bill C-63, Liberals giving $256 million to Asian Infrastructure Bank run by China over 5 years. $256 million. And this is a subscription service. It's a really weird bill. And that kind of brings us to the end of the 2060. I mean, there's a couple of here's $125 million, but that's nothing to the $850 million they handed out for aid. And that's, $125 million direct aid to Tanzania. So, yay, or whatever. But here's that weird bill, C-76. C-63, not C-76. And this is the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. And if you just go to the link is in the description, this is a parl.ca document viewer. And this bill has received royal assent on December 14th in the House of Commons. So this is law. But it says, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank's Articles of Agreement, considering the importance of regional cooperation to sustain growth and promote economic and social development of the economies in Asia and thereby contribute to regional resilience against potential financial crisis and other external shocks in the context of globalization, acknowledging the significance of infrastructure development in expanding regional connectivity and improving the regional integration, thereby promoting economic growth and sustaining social development for the people in Asia and contributing to the global economy dynamism. Yeah, dynamism. Sure. Realizing that the considerable long-term need for financing infrastructure development in Asia will be met more adequately by a partnership among existing multilateral development banks and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, herein referred to as the bank. Convinced that the establishment of the bank as a multilateral financial institution focused on infrastructure development will help to mobilize much needed additional resources from inside and outside Asia and to remove the financing bottlenecks faced by the individual economies in Asia, and will complement the existing multilateral development banks to promote sustained and stable growth in Asia, have agreed to establish the bank, which shall operate in accordance with the following. And then it lays out like what they're going to do. But the principal office of the bank shall be located in Beijing, the People's Republic of China. Oh, okay. And this agreement, deposited with the government of the People's Republic of China, herein called the depository, shall remain open until December 31st, 2015, for signature by the governments of the countries whose names are set forth in Schedule A, and done at Beijing, People's Republic of China on June 29th, 2015, and a single original deposited in the archives of the depository whose English, Chinese, and French texts are equally authentic. And I found it weird that we're not on this list, but it seems that all of these agreements and agreements to give money to this intergovernmental bank, and maybe us creating this law is us buying into this list, right? Like, I'm not sure. I haven't done a deep dive on this. This is one of a long list of items on the spending that we did in 2017. So this is one footnote. There isn't even a news story on this, which is, okay, like $256 million to an Asian bank to manage Asian infrastructure. And this is brought up in the House of Commons during debate on this bill, and it says by Robert Gordon Kitchen from Surrey, Moose Mountain, Saskatchewan. He says, Mr. Speaker, my constituents are concerned about the Asian Infrastructure Bank. As my honorable colleague mentioned earlier, the reality is that the government is going to invest $500 million in an Asian infrastructure bank that is going to create jobs for building pipelines and coal-fired power plants in another part of the world. My constituents are asking why the government cannot create jobs here in Canada. The Liberals shut down the Energy East pipeline, which would have come through my riding and created jobs. Here they are sending money outside of the country instead of putting it toward good-paying middle-class jobs in my riding. They could put money into carbon capture plants, which would capture 98% of greenhouse gases and 100% of sulfur and put it into the ground. This is innovation. This is advancement and a great asset for greenhouse gas capture. Why can the government not put money into Canada? And then the speaker says, I'm not going to, you know what, I'm not even going to read the rebuttal. He basically does what the Liberals do, and he tap dances and panders and says, shouldn't we be a part of global agreements? Sure, we should be a part, but people should have a say in whether we throw $500 million at jobs in Southeast Asia or China or not, right? That's the point. And people want Canada to spend money on jobs in Canada. And this is a giant laundry list of the Canadian government pointedly not doing that. So, and I'm not going to continue scrolling because I know it bothers some people. So sorry about that. But it's an interesting choice. Today is National Popcorn Day in the United States. I didn't know that until, I don't know, half an hour ago, maybe a little longer. How long is this video? So I think it is interesting that Donald Trump, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon right now when I'm doing this video, and this is back when Colbert was funny and good. And man, I miss that Colbert. But Donald Trump called a press conference today for the emergency on the southern wall, basically, or the southern border. And man, I can't wait to see how this plays out, because Donald Trump likes to do stuff like this, like, National Popcorn Day. Man, it's going to be interesting. So tune in or check out what happens after Trump's speech. And man, can you believe how much spending the Liberal Party has done outside of Canada? Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Canada adds $200 million to the financing of Iraq. The Iraqi government. That was 2016, but still. Unbelievable. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Check out the peoplespartyofcanada.ca and check out canadapoly.com if you want to join the conversation. I haven't plugged it in a while, and, come join us. We'd love to have you. Have a great day.